I do have with me back in the back, I've got Jason Ramsey, who's actually, his wife is right here from Lexington area, Heather. And so Jason is our Vice President of Center Store. Mike Clausen is here with us today as well. He's our Senior Vice President of Operations. Kelly is in charge of all of our kind of community aspects. And then Katie is our local representative, again, from our community aspects right here in Lexington. So again, we as a team are excited to be here today. So Lowe's Foods, we are a local company. We were born right here in the Carolinas. We're a Carolinas-based company. We're a Carolinas-owned company. In fact, we started with Alec and Lee back in 1911 in Lenoir, North Carolina. And in Lenoir, North Carolina, there ain't much there, as you can imagine, back in 1911. But they found this nice little produce stand that their dad bought them. And then, the guy who sold it to them really thought, well, they won't be able to make this thing work, so I'm going to buy it back, from them, at just a fraction of the cost here in a few years. But these two young men came in and started running this business, and it actually grew into a company called Merchant Distributors, MDI. And we have actually been servicing over 400 independents all the way from Ohio down to Florida through the years, and we've continued to grow and grow and grow. And then Lowe's Foods actually was a customer of MDI, and Lowe's Foods actually started in North Wilkesboro in 1954. And so we were actually born, in fact, the founder that started Lowe's Hardware, which also started in North Wilkesboro, one of the guys decided that he did not want to be in the hardware business, so he kind of ventured out and decided he wanted to sell groceries. So he opened a grocery store, decided real quickly that wasn't for him either, so I guess he just didn't like to work. So he actually sold it to a guy named J.C. Fall. So J.C. bought it, owned it, operated it until about the 1980s, and then at that point, MDI actually purchased Lowe's Foods back in the 1980s. But we had serviced it and everything, so we've been around, been locally owned again since 1954. We continue to grow. As you can tell, we have these state-of-the-art stores that we built back in the 70s. I think that was up in Statesville, North Carolina. And we continue to evolve our brand kind of throughout the years. And we really went upstairs. I mean, you guys remember those days, right? So back in the 90s, we introduced the kind of the 4 apples on the logo and everything to represent, healthiness and all that kind of fun stuff. So, marketing continues to grow. And then we launched in the 2000s, we launched this whole thing called Fresh Smart, again, that we launched back in the 2000s. And then that was kind of our brand through that point in time. Now, again, we went through and looked and said, how can Lowe's continue to kind of reinvent themselves, and how can we continue to kind of go through and morph and change the way that we should? And so, when we started talking to people, what we found is, people were fairly nostalgic, and whenever they would go through and they would think, about things of yesteryear and the things that used to be, and so we kind of started taking that all together, and we kind of come up with our new logo that we launched back in 2013. And again, we launched the most recent renditions of the Lowe's brand. And in fact, when we launched our first remodel of Lowe's back in 2013, we actually opened it in January of 2014. We opened it and we only had 5 concepts in that store. And since then, when we opened the store, we opened right here for you guys, right here in Lexington. We opened that one as well with 13 concepts in that one. So we've gone from 5 concepts to 13 concepts. And again, if you're wondering what a concept is, I'll explain a little bit about that in a minute. But my favorite one of those concepts means you can drink beer in the store. So this is kind of the store that we're building these days. So again, we have morphed a little bit since when we started back from the beginnings back in 1954, and have continued to kind of evolve throughout the years. But when you really ask us and say, what is Lowe's Foods really like? This is our brand propositions that we have, our brand principles. And so what we tend to do is we tend to be a little bit rebellious in certain aspects of things. We like to not be your traditional grocery store. We really do want to go through and create a differentiated experience for guests that come in and shop with us. Again, for us, we think that breaking the mold of normal is pretty important. And some things that we're very, very proud of is being authentically local, because again, we are a local company. We actually, if you go into our stores, we have over 2,500 local items that you'll find throughout our stores. In fact, before we even opened, we came down here and we did what we called a local fair, and we went through and had, I think it was, Kelly, 35 or so local vendors that we went through and met with, and some of which didn't even have UPC numbers for their products, didn't have insurance for their products, those kind of things. And we've actually worked back with some of those vendors to go through and actually bring them to the marketplace so we can actually sell them within our stores. And so for us, it's not just about selling them only at Lowe's Foods, because anything we can do to kind of strengthen the economy and strengthen the local businesses, we want them to be able to sell into other supermarkets and those kind of things as well, because it's good for the community, it's good for us. And so we want to grow with the community and where we're at. Inspirational, passionate, that's a couple things. As you think about food, you can see a lot of things that kind of tie into that. But a couple of them that kind of stand out a little bit. This whole idea of provocative and kind of a twist of wit. So you can see everything in our stores from a little bit of a chicken dance opportunity. Again, that's a little bit witty. If you see some of our billboards and stuff around town, they sometimes can get a little bit of provocative. But again, it's all with good humor. We always say, hey man, when you're driving along, we want to be able to explain anything we put up to an 8-year-old sitting in your back seat. So we try to keep it a little bit family-friendly, obviously, but we obviously want to go through and we want to create a differentiated environment as you kind of go through and shop with Lowe's. But ultimately for us, it's really all about our people. We have focused very hard. We've even hired former Disney trainers to kind of come in and help work with us to understand better how to train our people so that we can create a different environment within our stores. We want to, kind of go through and create one where people belong and where they love to be there. And again, we know at the end of the day that, we're not a perfect company. We know that you're going to walk in and there'll be sometimes that, we're not perfect, but our goal and our ambition is to be able to go through and create some unexpected delights as you kind of come through and be able to walk through Lowe's Food stores and create an environment where, again, you feel like you belong. Again, we call our folks hosts. We call people who walk in our door guests, because we really do want it to be that way as you kind of walk in our store. Because we do know for a lot of our competition, they kind of view customer service and guest service a little bit different. And this is not what we want to be known for. And so we, again, want to make sure that we're doing our best to go through and take care of you and for the community each and every day. I don't know who had the guts to do that, but that was pretty crazy. I've always said I want to do that one day, but I've never done that. And again, we want it to be, again, a place where you feel welcome back in our stores. So, kind of why Lexington? For us, like we said, we are kind of we are a Carolinas-based company, and we're looking to continue to grow within the Carolinas. So again, the Carolinas matter a lot to us. And again, it is our home territory, our home crew. This is from the grand opening we did back over at the Lexington store, the first Lexington store we just opened up here just about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And again, we appreciate the chamber coming out and joining us. It was raining that day, so it was one of those precarious situations, right? So at 4:30, we really had the population kind of gathered right outside our door. They were kind of pressed up against it like this, and it's raining outside, and our awning is only so big. So we had to make a decision. Do you leave the community outside, or do you open the door a couple minutes early? So we opened the door at 4:30, let them in. Otis and the team showed up and says, wow, I don't know where we're going to do a ribbon cutting. I looked around and said, yeah, I don't know either. I was like, come on, let's head back to the community table. So we head back there, we did the ribbon cutting, and again, we're just real appreciative for the chamber and everyone making it out to be with us. But when we talk about Lexington, that kind of really kind of talks to the values and stuff that we're all about. It's about community. It is about going through and growing together. And again, like we said earlier, it's really not about just Lowe's Foods. It's about how can we come in and be a great community partner? How can we go and look for opportunities to grow together? And how can we look for opportunities, again, to be stronger, again, collectively together? Even before we opened up, we came down and we kind of hung out with you guys a little bit as well. So Kelly and the team kind of came down and started introducing some of our brands into the marketplace. And we found out that you guys have a strong culture around craft beers. And again, we kind of resonate with that. And so we kind of come down and we want to take advantage of being able to partner with you guys through a variety of those kind of things. And again, we'll mention a couple of things here in a minute. But what we're really all about, and when you walk into Lowe's, we have this thing called a community table. A community table is kind of in the back side of the left hand. When you walk in on the left-hand side, it's back there, and it's actually built out of old torn-down barns. And so tobacco industry is a pretty big industry here in the Carolinas, and it started, actually by taking old tobacco barns that were being torn down, and we had to reclaim that wood and actually go through and build these community tables out of it. And what we do is we have events there every day. So we invite the community in, so you guys check. You can check online for the different events that happen each and every day. We usually have some local items or local things that are kind of going on there and kind of get you to come in and see and try new and different things. But we're big in the community. So one of the things that we do is our Bag Childhood Hunger. Last year alone, we have 77 branded Lowe's Food stores. we raised over 1.4 million pounds, again, that went back to local food banks here in the Carolinas. And again, if you look at it, we are one of the largest, actually, folks as far as the purveyors of going through and raising, again, food for the food banks in the Carolinas. In comparison, like the Postal Service, I think theirs runs about 400,000 pounds. Again, ours is about 1.4 million pounds. And so that's something, again, we're very, very proud of that we do. We also go back through and we do think this is an actual backpack drive that we did because we understand and we know that during the summer times, kids, they often go hungry during the summer as they don't have assistance to be able to eat like they normally would at schools. And so we actually go through and put together backpack programs for them to be able to go and be able to have food and everything as well during the summer. The troops obviously ring near and dear to our heart. Those men and women that serve, again, our country, it means a big deal to us. This is a drive that we did, actually bringing back, we actually went through and brought a little taste of home back to our servicemen and women that were fighting overseas. And I forget how many cases we raised. It was hundreds and hundreds, which was thousands and thousands of containers of actually Oreo cookies to be able to go through and send to our troops, because you'd be surprised oftentimes how they just miss the little small tastes of home, and that's something that we want to be a part of back with them. This was part of our Hands for Hunger campaign as well that we do. This one we do during the Thanksgiving holiday time frame. Again, we know that proteins is a big important part for those who are underprivileged as far as in need of food within our communities, and we want to do our part to be able to go through and raise awareness around that. I think on this particular drive, I think we had somewhere around 300 pounds of different hams and stuff. This past year, we just did a program with Smithfield Pork where we did a rib program, again, for proteins for the summertime. And again, we raised somewhere in the neighborhood of 33,000 pounds of pork and everything that we were able to go through and be able to go back and help with the underprivileged. Here locally in town, we actually are partnering back with the Lexington International Community Services. And so we're very, very pleased to have them as a partner and everything as we continue to go forward. So as you have a chance to partner with us at our stores, then again, know that you're also helping to support the Lexington Interfaith Community Services here as well. For us also, supporting our future, very kid-friendly. If you come into our store, like I said, you can come over and you can request a chicken dance. You can go over and play with the little buttons back in Sausage Works and create and help us make the sausages back there as well. You have the kids come in, they can push their own little kids carts and stuff and everything and create this whole idea of learning how to shop early and often, as well as the fact that we also go through and we do tours. So for those of you that may not know, if you work at the local schools or you have kids or grandkids with local schools, we'd love to have them in. We'll actually come through and take them through the store and be able to talk to them about how to eat healthy and what that all looks like and the different things that are kind of involved around grocery stores. We are more than just cookies, right? So, but we do have cookies, some real good ones, in fact. And so, but for us, we talked about a little bit earlier, for Lowe's, it is about truly being local. Again, local's a big deal for us. You may have seen a pod like this if you've been in the store down there. Again, this is one, as a matter of fact, we were just having reports this morning that we're having trouble keeping up. We're getting distributions in of the local products. We thank you guys for doing that. Continue to do that, because again, understanding and supporting, again, local businesses around the area. And so we want to go through, like we said, we have over 2,500 different local items throughout our stores. And in fact, in our produce areas, during the prime time, so the prime growing season here in the Carolinas, we will hit as high as upwards of about 30 to 35% of our produce can be from local farms. And if you look at a lot of the competitors around the area, they strive to get to about 10%. And we have actually worked through the years, we've worked with over 250 local farmers to be able to go through and be able to repurpose fields to be able to sell back in the supermarket industry. And when I say repurpose fields, a lot of those were tobacco farmers again. So how do you go through and repurpose those fields to grow fruits and vegetables so that they can continue to be viable as they continue to move forward? So again, that's something we take a lot of pride in. We have worked with both of the Raw families back here in town. We have for years and years throughout before we even here. I mean, like we said, we have our wholesale side of our business on merchant distributors, and we've been working back, again, for decades down here with them. And then we've also been working back with WP Raw and the family, again, with us specifically here at Lowe's Foods as well for many, many years. Again, they've been just fantastic partners, and again, continue to talk about why we want to be here as part of the Lexington community. One other program that we do is something we call our CSA program. And really what this is all about supporting local farmers. Traditionally, in a traditional CSA program, what you do is you'd get like a box full of whatever a local farmer may have. So maybe you'd get a case full of kale, because that's all they had. What we do is we work together to be able to go through and get a variety of different vegetables and different products that we can go through and put in a box to be able to go through and bring it to your grocery store. What happens is it's as close as we can get it from being harvested in the field to your front door as quickly as we can. And so it's literally harvested like on Friday, and it's in our stores Saturday morning for you to be able to pick up. And what it is, you get in there a bio of which farms it came from, which local farmers are you supporting, and those kind of things. You can actually go down, it's through a subscription service that you can sign up for at our store. And again, it's for a limited time during the summer months. Again, the first round is just finishing up, and then we're going to offer a second round for the second season of the summer months as well, but an opportunity to continue to go back and invest and support local. So, what is your Lowe's Foods like? Well, I'm hoping at this point in time, most of you have been, in our store, and as you guys know, we do have a second location that's going to be opening up here very shortly, coming up in July. And so we're looking forward to get that one up and going as well. So when you're in there, so what are some of these things that you might see? Well, first of all, our pick and prep area. So say pick and prep 5 times really fast. No, don't do that. We don't allow cussing this early in the morning. So pick and prep actually is one of those environments that go through, and you can actually walk through the produce department, and you can pick your fruits, your vegetables that you like, and you can actually bring them to our sous chef, and we'll actually cut them for you while you shop. In addition to that, we've already got this whole wall of product and everything that's already cut, that's cut fresh right there in store by, again, our sous chefs. And all of our product has a 200% guarantee. A 200% guarantee means whenever you purchase it, if it's not lives up to your freshness specifications or quality specifications, not only will we refund you your money, but we'll also replace the product. That's how much we stand behind, again, what we do and what we stand for here at Lowe's Foods. Within this environment, we continue to add new things. We have fresh squeezed juice that's available at the store. Again, we do that all right there in store. We have the fresh made salad. We have the spiral cut veg. And again, all of that is made right there in store by our sous chefs on site. We also have our tomato medley and our potato medley that's available in the store. So when you walk in, you can see our tomato bar. At the end, you see the little grape tomatoes. We actually encourage you, yes, you can pick one up and taste it. That's perfectly fine, and you won't get in trouble, and nobody's going to come out and attack you or anything like that. So you can actually come through and you can taste the different varieties, and that's what we try to do, is bring in different varieties of grape tomatoes. I mean, you actually knew there was different varieties of grape tomatoes. It's like really? I mean, it's really kind of cool. And so you can go through and taste them, and you can mix and match to be able to go through there and be able to purchase what you like. Also, a lot of the fingerling and small potatoes and onions on the potato and onion bar. Again, I don't advise you to eat those. Probably would not be a very pleasurable eating experience. But again, you can mix and match back in that environment to be able to go through and take that home. It does fantastic for stews, small meals, quick in and outs, anything you're looking for that smaller potato, smaller onion setup. Cheese. I mean, if you're looking for cheese, we got cheese. So if you can't find it here, you probably don't need it. We have, again, a full variety all the way around from all over the world that we take and that we curate to kind of bring in specifically right here to your stores, right here in the Lexington market. Again, we can go through, we can do any kind of party trays, those kind of things and stuff as well. We have somebody usually back here on the weekends. If there's not somebody specifically here, just stop by our deli department. We'd be more than happy to help you to be able to go through and be able to get you any kind of special trays. If you've got special events, special parties kind of coming along, let us know. We also have different pamphlets throughout there. Beer and cheese pairings is kind of a big deal, at least as far as I'm concerned it is. And so there we have little pamphlets that kind of talk about ways to be able to do that, as well as wine and cheese pairings and stuff as well. So again, you guys stop by and see the cheese shop. Right behind the cheese shop, you might see this little area right here called the Spice Bazaar. So these are actually curated spices, and how many of you know that spices don't last that long? I mean, if you go home and check your expiration date, you probably need to throw away a lot of your spices. I know it's true. The first time somebody told me, I was like, well, there goes that, there goes that. What we really do here is we kind of go through and we have these pouches so that you can actually go through and get an appropriate amount of spice that's going to last you probably about the amount of time that it's actually good for. We actually sell containers and stuff and everything for you to put it in also. We also then have these, what we call our pillow packs that you see in the barrels underneath there. And those are special recipes that are actually curated, again, by our Spice Bazaar chef. That they actually go through and put together those specific spices to be able to go through and be able to make different kind of mixes, whether it's a Mediterranean mix, a Southwestern mix, a quinoa and fruit mix for your yogurt, some really good, innovative different things there. As well as we have a full bulk foods area to the left there as well. And if you continue down, you'll actually find where you can grind your own peanut butter. You can actually go through and pour your own olive oil. Again, some different things to allow you to have the freshest experience possible as you're curating and being inspirational about your food. Smokehouse. Now let me tell you, we are in the Carolinas. Barbecue matters. And so this is a place where I get kind of lost in. We go through, we actually smoke our meats right here in store. We smoke, again, the Boston butts for 12 hours and then pull the pork and everything right there. It eats fantastic. Again, our ribs slow smoked for 8 hours right there. You can get it chilled, ready to go. Twice a day for lunch and for dinner. We'll actually have it, some hot foods available on the hot bar out there. So if you're looking for a quick lunch, a quick dinner, we'll also have that available back there at the smokehouse, but that's primarily for lunch and dinner that it's available hot. And then also we have what we call our divine cuts, which is that area right there in the middle. All of our beef is certified Angus beef, which is the top 2% of any that you can buy. And again, we've kind of got an exclusive on that, so you really can't purchase that unless it's from an independent or from an actual restaurant. And so you can actually purchase that at Lowe's Foods, where we take that top 2% meat and we go through and we age it, we dry age it. And if you want a phenomenal eating experience, again, stop by. It is a great thing. A lot of times too, we'll sell through that fairly quickly. You can go through and kind of reserve your steaks and your cuts in advance, or if you want a full loin kind of aged for you, we can do that also. So again, stop by and see us. Sausage Works, over 54 different varieties of sausages. We make them at our own butchery in Lenore, North Carolina. Again, things like my favorite is the Kentucky Gentleman. It's a sweet tea bourbon sausage that we launched in celebration of the Kentucky Derby. But we have some other ones. We have a margarita sausage that we launched for Cinco de Mayo. We actually have a champagne sausage that we launched for New Year's. We even have a pumpkin sausage that we launched again for celebration of Pumpkintopia in the fall. So we try to come up with some crazy, wacky flavors, but the thing we always guarantee is that you're going to love it. They're good, they're tasty, they sound kind of weird, and that's why sometimes you see our wacky sausage professors back there. That's that whole idea of really taking something a little crazy, a little different, be able to create a differentiated experience for you. And for the kids and kids at heart, if you don't know, you can come along and push these little buttons and everything right across there, and when you do, that sign overhead kind of comes alive. The U pops out, the gears spin, all that kind of stuff, and you're in essence helping us make the sausage. So come on by, push the buttons, and pick up some sausage. You can get it hot. We'll cook it for you right there on the spot, or you can take it home raw. You can take it home pre-cooked, chilled, or we'll even decase it for you as well. And by the way, we also case all that sausage right there in store as it's delivered. Now, right there in store as it comes in. Our community table. Here is Mary from Mother Shuckers right there, which is a local sauce from the oysters and everything. So she's at our community table. Again, this is the event I talked about earlier. This is really where we kind of came up with the whole idea of even building what we build as a store. We said we really want to bring the community back to the table. And so this was our attempt to be able to go through and create that type of an experience. Our breadcrumb, again, we go through, we cook our breads fresh right there on the floor. They're available right there. And if our artisan breads, which are on the right-hand side of this particular picture, are really all natural. And so again, all of our artisan breads are all natural. So if you're really looking to stay away from preservatives and those kind of things, we do have that available. We have savory breads, sweet breads, you name it. Again, they're all calorie-free. until you eat them. At our cakery, one thing you'll notice different about our cakery, again, this is a true bakery. So we actually use real butter, real cream, again, which most grocery stores do not use. You can taste the difference. Come on by, we'll let you taste the icings. And then all of our cakes, our tarts and everything are square. So if you're looking for something different, a little unique, it's all there. They're all made directly in-house. If you need something specially made, we can take care of that for you equally as well. Overhead, the candles. If it's your birthday or you want to pretend like it's your birthday, come in and tell us, and you can come up and you can actually blow those candles out, believe it or not. Go ahead, try it. No, it don't work. So, but if you're in the store, if you get with our Cake Wizard, it actually does work, and so you can actually blow those candles out. We'll actually do a cake walk a couple times a day. To go out there and put some squares down. We have some music that plays that you go through and do a cake walk, and the winner gets some cake squares to be able to take home with them. If you have something kind of going on in the community, we can take that cake walk out to the community as well, so let us know. We'll be happy to do that. And then whenever you finish sampling, again, the icing, we have a wishing bin. So rather than just a regular trash can, you actually get to make a wish and drop your spoon into the wishing bin. So again, just a little bit differentiated experience back there. And there's a young girl looking at the wishing bin right there, making her wish. Loving cookies, here's all I'm going to say about that. Don't eat these. Once you try it, you will not eat anything else, I'm telling you. They're absolutely fantastic. Real butter made right there in the store. My favorite is the Royal, which is, again, a coconut macadamia nut cookie. Again, don't try it. You will never go back. Chicken Kitchen, if you're in a foul mood, get it. A foul mood, okay. All right, so come on down, do the chicken dance with us. This is in celebration of our no antibiotics ever chicken, because our chickens are locally raised and harvested right here in the Carolinas. Again, no antibiotics ever used with them. Even the breading for our fried chicken is locally made here in the Carolinas also. We hand toss our wings. So again, come on down if you're looking for a 50-piece or a 2-piece, so we can take care of you right here at our Chicken Kitchen. And then our Sammy's concept, full-fledged sandwich, pizza, panini bar. Again, our crusts for our pizzas are actually imported from Italy, and they taste fantastic. We can have them hot and ready for you. About 90 seconds is what it takes in the ovens back there to get them hot, or you can take them home in about 7 or 8 minutes. You can have them ready to go as well. And so again, or you can get any kind of sandwich that you would like. Again, we got a whole different variety, as well as some signature sandwiches back there as well that you would really like. And I saved one of my favorite for the last. So the Beer Den. The Beer Den, you can actually stop by and hang out with us. You can have a glass of beer or a glass of wine. Thursdays, usually I think it's from 4 to 7, I think it is our Thirsty Thursdays. So it's half price beer and wine on those days, so stop by and see us. You can get your growlers filled here, so a 64-ounce or 32-ounce growler jugs. And we actually have a little like a cleaning unit back there that actually, when you bring them in, we can clean it for you real quick in about 2 minutes and then refill it for you. We also sell plastic ones, so if you're actually going out to play some golf or heading to the pool and you can't take glass, we have some plastic ones for you. Or we have what we call a crowler, which is a 32-ounce can of beer that we can actually fill with your favorite beer back there, and we can actually top it, and it's an actual can, and you pop the top on it just like a regular can of beer would be. In fact, people are pretty excited about our sip and shop down there at the new store. So we put this Facebook post out there. We got over 80,000 people took a view at that and everything down there just here in the Lexington market. So we're thinking there's some people in here who really like some beer and wine, or something's going on here. There's 84,000 people hit that bad boy for us down here. So we're really excited to see that. So one thing that's missing in our store is you. So we're really excited to be here in the Lexington market. We're really excited to be here and be a part of the community. And again, our whole goal isn't just about coming and opening up grocery stores. This is truly about us growing with the local communities. It's about us growing together and continue to advance forward. Okay? So that's about Lowe's Foods. I appreciate you guys having me out today and everything. So I'll turn it back over. Otis?
Yeah. We got time for just maybe one or two questions right quick. See if I got a question for Tim.
How many stores do you have overall?
Total stores overall, we have 77 Lowe's branded stores, and we have about 16 that are Just Save branded stores, or deep discount stores that our sister company MDI runs for us.
Where else in South Carolina?
We're else in South Carolina, so we're over we got one in Greer, one in Simpsonville, we got the 2 here in Lexington, we got one we've announced that's about to open in Columbia, and then we're all over in Myrtle Beach. Man, it's going to be fun. It's going to be in July.
Any other questions?
Are y'all going to do a big grand opening in the other Lexington one, like the one out by high school?
Yeah, we hope to blow the barns out on that one too. Invite you guys out. We'll have a good time out there. We'll do some special stuff out there for that one as well.
Good. Tim, we want to thank you for
Part of our election, we look forward to working with you and your family, and I tell you, y'all have just been a great asset. We've enjoyed getting to meet the Lowe's family. It's just been really fun. So, one question I wanted to ask is, Kelly wouldn't say that you won't really talk about it, but we keep hearing that this is probably the biggest grand opening you had, the most successful store you've had. Any truth to that at all?
I'm extremely happy, and you guys have really turned out to help support us a lot. We appreciate that.